Hello, my name is Ed Diedick from PowerSchool. I'm the Vice President of Solution Sales for Student Information Systems and Special Ed and Enrollment. And I'm here with Edmonton Catholic Schools, and Ian is here to help us understand more about what Edmonton Catholic has been doing during this COVID crisis. So welcome, Ian. Maybe you can introduce yourself for us and just give us a little bit of background for us on what you do there.
Sure, Ed, thanks. Yeah, my name is Ian Macialek, and like Ed said, I work at Edmonton Catholic School Division in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I am the manager of information services, and that includes our SIS and actually our service desk as well. Kind of a weird mix, but that's how it is. We are a division of just over 44,000 students and around 100 schools.
Great. So we've been talking to districts about kind of what you've been doing and what, this happens so fast, and it's been difficult for districts to kind of change the paradigm of what we've been living every day for so many years. And so maybe you could just talk about what you've done to try to help bridge some of this with your staff, with your students, how you've addressed some of those things in moving into a remote operation.
Well, you're right there for sure. It's definitely like unprecedented times, and like most divisions out there, many of us weren't prepared for something like this. So some of the first things that we did was we analyzed our ticketing system to just kind of see what some of the new requests that were coming in and who they were for. And so, for example, a lot of our teachers, of course, were going to this work from home model, and they were taking division-owned devices home, and we've never done this in a mass scale before, and of course we have group policy set on many of our computers. And so we just kind of looked at the ticketing system just to see like what kind of requests were coming in, and we had to on the fly adjust group policies and things like that to make sure that they were able to do and function with those division-owned computers at home. So we were able to just quickly fix issues. We also noticed a lot of password requests coming in, and we had an easy way for staff to reset passwords, but we realized it was a little cumbersome for our students, and so we quickly developed an app so our teachers could quickly help students that were trying to get online. We assisted the division also with a loan agreement for division computers and hardware that were going home. This included like a responsible use and a terms of use for them. I mean, it wasn't anything fancy because we did it on the fly, but we were able to get that into the hands of the school so that they could quickly, provide students with some of the devices that they needed. We also assisted teachers by actually installing a new customization in PowerSchool as well. We're not using an LMS currently, and the teachers were finding it a little challenging to communicate with parents and students just right out of PowerTeacher Pro. So we went on the PowerSource community and found a customization that would build email lists for the teachers. So we quickly did up a little tutorial and showed them, the proper way to make sure those email addresses went in the BCC line, and so that we could, cover all the freedom of information here in Canada. And then we also assisted teachers with some of the technologies so that they could work with the students remotely and help them learn remotely. And we're a heavily Microsoft environment. And so luckily we had already had some integration with PowerSchool and Microsoft Teams, so that all the teacher sections were already synced over to Teams. So that made it really easy for teachers to just go into Microsoft Teams and have their classes and all the students already there. And then we have a number of teachers that also use Google Classroom. So, we helped to show them how they could kind of integrate their Google Classroom in with their Teams and work in that kind of a little hybrid mode. So yeah, we performed, a lot of integration there and training for them.
That's great. I did pick up on the fact that you said it was quick and dirty, and you also mentioned 44,000 students, and I just don't know how that all goes together. That seems like a pretty monumental feat.
Yeah, and it was, but it only took a few weeks to just see our ticket load just really slow down, and we were pretty agile and able to, help out the parent and student community. So,
That's great.
um, but like you said, it was, we weren't prepared for it, but you just kind of have to roll with it.
Yeah. Well, that's getting your remote operations out there and getting the technology into the hands of the students and the teachers. What about other things that the district might have done, helping students transition? What kind of other kind of things have the district done or seen during this time?
Well, Edmonton Catholic has been involved in quite a few food bank collections and trying to just get some non-perishable food items into our food bank. We've also went out and found grant money to provide internet for some of those students that are in need and need that. We also worked with organizations to get computers into the hands of students that were in need as well.
Wow, great, great.
Those are some of the initiatives. I don't know them all. Like you said, we have a very big division, so
Yeah.
those are just some of the ones that that I've heard of and know of. I'm sure there's many more other things
Yeah.
with how we're assisting parents and students out there.
Well, that's great. So, how is Edmonton Catholic handling new student enrollment and re-registration for this year, this coming year? Is that a topic of on your mind?
Well, it's funny that you asked that, Ed. As a matter of fact, we just implemented PowerSchool Enrollment. It was quite fortunate that we did have it up and running this January. So
Wow.
basically, so we could get all of our brand new kinder students registered online. So, I mean, it was kind of perfect timing for this event that's happened. Actually, we've heard of other divisions in the province that are kind of scrambling now because the schools may not be completely closed, but they don't want parents really coming in and filling
No.
out registrations. You know what I mean? So us having PowerSchool Enrollment ready to go was kind of awesome, to tell you the truth. We did have there is a feature in there where you can collect documents as well from the parents, so
Yep.
they can take a picture of it or scan it and upload. We had that turned off at the beginning because in our division we really like the parents to come in just so we can meet them and verify who they are and
Yep.
things like that. And so we did on the fly have to actually turn that feature on, but it was just nice to be able to have that ability to do that. So yeah, we were fortunate to spin up PowerSchool Enrollment and have it ready to go.
And so you went from a completely paper-based or face-to-face based model to now completely online for 44,000 students in your district. And that has, I mean, you must have had some challenges at some point.
Well, yeah, during the implementation phase, I mean, of course, we're a large division and we're needy.
Mhm.
So actually, you should talk to your implementation people. They'll probably be the ones going, "Oh my!" But yeah, there were some challenges there, and we have a lot of needs. But we were eventually able to get there. This September, we did our verification online for the first time. There was a big push to ensure that our parents all had parent portal accounts.
Yep.
I mean, I'm sure that's just a thing across all divisions in North America. It's tough to get them online. They'll sometimes just get their children to log in or whatever, but we really needed our parent community to be
Yep.
involved. So we had a big push there, and just even through our verification process, I bet you we've got more digitally signed verification forms this year than we probably ever had in the past.
Wow.
So, and
That's
it was
great.
nice to be able to get there with digital. And then, like I already said, this January we were able to, I think we're up somewhere around 1,800 new enrollments that are all digitally born and just sitting there. Most have been delivered to PowerSchool now, and are just waiting for next September to become active.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad we had that.
And then you also have your returning students actually go through a process as well?
Yeah, well, that's so we call that our verification. So yeah,
Yep.
that's really the returning student.
Sure.
So in September, we had all of our parents go through the parent portal and
And they'll do that again.
verify. Oh yeah, every year.
Awesome.
So we're
Wow.
ramping up. We're ramping up already for this summer to upload all that data up to enrollment, and then release it this September again, just to make sure we've got correct addresses and phone numbers and all the correct medical information. So
That's great. That's great.
yeah, so I'm glad we had
Well,
that good to go.
great. So, any last things that you can think about that either you've done through using PowerSchool or that your staff has done that maybe you couldn't have done before, or how PowerSchool's helped you through this process?
Well, I think we've basically covered everything, but I do believe that I think this pandemic is going to change how divisions and schools kind of work, and work remotely. I know in the past, I'm sure there's been challenges when maybe you have a child that's sick and cannot attend school. Well, now we've probably learned a lot of things throughout this where we can really help students even more than we had in the past remotely. And I think that probably speaks true across North America or the world for that. Like I believe everyone's just kind of learning these new ways that we can work, and not only in schools but everywhere. I think just things are going to change for us. So
I think so too.
no, I think that's about it that I can think of right now. Anyway,
Yeah.
so.
Well, listen, thank you so much. And I appreciate you being such a great advocate for PowerSchool and helping with your district for all these years. I know that you've been a huge supporter of what we've been able to bring to the table, and want to make sure that all your families and your staff stay healthy during this. And we'll talk to you soon.
And same to you, Ed. Yeah, it was great to talk to you, and yeah, thanks for everything.